So I know some of the guys in the comments have been asking me about how I like the speed feed, the Echo speed feed. I love it, man. I really do. One thing about it that I'm not, man, maybe I'm just hard on them, I don't know, is, you see, this thing's about wearing out already, look. And I mean, I haven't had this thing a hot month, you know, and I don't even use it every day. Am I too rough on it? Am I holding the weed eater at an angle too much, maybe? I don't know. But y'all see what I'm talking about. This plastic right here is fixing to go. I mean, it's wore out. So I don't really know. And the steel heads last a lot longer than that. Especially for me, because see, I don't use it every day. I mean, every job, you know. Now the one that Zach has with the bolt through it, with the you know, the steel, it's got the bolt through it. It's holding up good. He's had it as long as I've had that, and I don't know how much longer that's going to last before it comes apart. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. But the next one I buy, I'm probably going to buy another one, put a bolt in it. And but the next one I'm going to buy the bigger one. I don't really know why it's wearing out like that. Maybe it's just my method of weed eating ain't like it's supposed to be. Maybe I'm holding it at an angle too much, because I do like to hold it at an angle. I rarely hold it flat, you know. I mean, weed eat flat. You know, I usually tilt it up like that a little bit, and I do a lot of the concrete stuff. So I don't know. I just wouldn't think that I do the same thing. You know, I've been running the weed eaters for, you know, the whole time I've been in business, and I ain't never seen a head not last that long. And maybe it'll last another month or two. I don't know, but it doesn't look like it. Y'all got to admit, it's looking pretty like it's fixing to come apart. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to show you guys that, because you guys were asking in the comments how I like it. And I do like it. Now I will say, I love the way, because I've only replaced the string in it one time, y'all. So that tells you that I haven't really used it that much for it to be that worn out. And the guys that work for me don't use it. I'm the only one that uses it, so it's got to be me if it's hardcore. So yeah. Okay. All right, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. It is Wednesday morning. We got a lot going on today. I got to go look at a quick job real quick this morning. I got those guys started over at one of the jobs that we're going to do today. We got a lot. It's wet too, man. So everybody showed up today and all that good mushy stuff. So now we can get to the dollars. We all remember, we're just trying to get where we can do the $1,000 job on Friday, and everything is headed toward that. Now, my luck, they'll change their mind at the last minute, but I don't think so, because there ain't nobody else gonna cut it. So I gotta meet with a lady this morning and look at a bobcat job real quick. Then I'm going to go hook up with the guys. So yeah, everything is it's wet, man. But we got it. I cannot not work today, y'all. So we just gonna kind of have to do a little bit of strategy here and cut these yards best we can with the weather that we got. So yeah. So I was looking at a video this morning of Elite Landscapes, man. Big shout out, man. Big shout out to Elite, man. So, you know, he was talking about, you know, people that, you know, have helped him along the way, and to be grateful for, you know, family and all. Well, I can say the same thing, man. I've had people help me along the way. There was a time that I could not get credit, and my wife's dad let me borrow money, about like what you were talking about, you know, $5,000. Well,
my situation was a little bit unique because my father-in-law, his wife and their family, they have a distributing company, I should say, and they distribute Exmark mowers. So go figure. I did not know that when I started cutting grass. I did not even know what a freaking Exmark was. You know, I did not know. You know, so after I got started doing this, and I was struggling, and not really struggling, but I was going through mowers. You know, I'd buy these John Deere tractor mowers, and I'd go through one in 4 months. And I'd buy 2 of them, and I'd go through, and I didn't have really good credit or nothing, and so I was just, you know, gonna buy another John Deere tractor mower. So my father-in-law, you know, he talked to his people, you know, his wife's people or whatever, and they got me a deal on the Quest SP 44-inch mower that I gave Jesse Black for. And I remember I paid $4,200 for it. Now, he financed it for me, and, you know, he gave me the mower and said, hey, just pay us, man, you know, when you can. And this is after I've been in business for a couple of years, you know, not really, still was on the fence, not really sure if I was going to commit all the way or not. So, you know, and it took me a long time to pay that money back, man. I mean, it was over a year. It took me over a year to pay that money back, you know. So then when I went to him the second time, and it's really all about self-discipline, when I went to him the second time after, you know, I'd been in business probably about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, and the Quest had done what it's doing, and it was a great running mower, but I was getting properties that were taking me too long to do with the Quest, you know. And so I reached out to my father. Of course, he's watching from afar, you know. I wasn't doing videos, but he's, you know, I'm paying my bills. I'm not borrowing money from him to pay my bills or nothing, so they're good with that in the beginning, you know. And I would pay him, you know, a couple $100 here, a couple $100 a month. So when I went to him the second time to borrow money, I needed to borrow, well, I was going to borrow money, but really I needed a 60-inch mower, and since they're a distribution company or a distributing company for Exmark, then I was able to get the inside scoop on a demo, right? He got me a demo, Laser Z, X Series, the one that Drew's running right now. Yeah, I still got it, dude. The one that Drew's running. Well, it's the one that I'm running now, you know, the one that and I had to pay the minimum. I had to pay $8,800. So he got the mower for me. I went over to their business and I picked up the mower. It was a demo, and I committed to him to pay $8,800, and he paid the business, you know, the money for the mower, and then I was going to pay him back. But there was a couple of stipulations on that second loan, because he saw what he saw, and he realized how long it took me to pay back the first loan, which was only half the money that I was borrowing for the second time. So he said, look, I'm gonna do this for you, but you got to get better at paying the money back. And he's right. He was so right in every way that I had to learn to sacrifice the money to pay back, and it was hard to begin with. But after a minute, so he told me that when he gave me the mower, the second mower, you know, he told me, he said, look, I need at least $500 a month, if not more. And I'm like, oh God, I gotta commit to $500 a month, man. And it ain't like you can't pay them back, you know. I mean, yeah. So I said, okay, I'll do that. Of course, this having a 60-inch mower increased my productivity, where the $500 a month wasn't a big deal. So then I'm paying on that, and he's seeing me working every day, and he's really seeing me excelling. Now my money ain't getting much better, you know, quickly, because I had a lot of things I'm having to pay for in the beginning, you know. I had to replace a motor in a truck. I had, you know, just a lot of things, you know. I had to put a roof on my house, just a lot of things. But he's seeing all of this from afar, okay? And I'm not borrowing money from him. So he's like, cool, you're taking care of my daughter. You're not borrowing money from me. You're doing something right. Just ain't quite got there right, but you're doing something right. And I'm like, yeah. So I got so after I paid that mower off, and I didn't miss a beat. And one thing that I did that helped me a lot was I rented a man lift like the one I bought, and I trimmed a bunch of trees at his house. And him and his wife were paying me, you know, they paid me to do that, $500 a day to do that. And that's good money, but every dime that I made, other than what I had to pay guys that were helping me, I put it on that $8,000 loan. And so I paid the loan. I paid probably about $3,000 in cash, and then the rest of it I paid off by them by doing work for them and blah blah blah. So, bam, I'm even again. All right, and it got to the point to where I was not helping my credit out any by borrowing money from him. Even though I'm not having to pay any interest, it's not helping me, you know. And I'm a homeowner too, so I'm making my mortgage and I'm paying all my bills, but I'm not able to do much more than that because I'm committed to, you know, a $500 a month payment to my father-in-law. So that was kind of, you know, a stressor for me, because I knew that though I'm not paying interest, and I was very grateful for that, man. I mean, without him, like you were saying in your videos about your dad, without him, there's no way that I could have got as far as I got, as fast as I got. But you know, y'all, it'd be hard to be in this business for me without the help of my in-laws, you know, in the very beginning. Now, as my father-in-law has gotten older, you know, I have not, you know, I have not needed any money from him. But without the help of the family and people around me, and also you can't put enough emphasis on my wife and people around me believing in me. You gotta, you know, that empowers you to do more and to show them that you're worthy of the belief, right? You know, so I'm just I'm grateful to everybody that's helped me along the way. Make no mistake, no matter how my videos sound, I don't come from money, okay? My mom's never had money. None of my family ever had money. You know, everybody always worked, you know, pretty much paycheck to paycheck, you know. And so my mom and my aunts and my extended family, they were scared for me, you know, because they had never been self-employed. They didn't know anything about being self-employed, and they didn't know that if I could do it, and I didn't either. You know, I just knew how to hustle, y'all. And that's basically what this really is. You're hustling your services, and you're hustling the services of the machines that you can buy. And I've been in every bad situation known to man, it seems like, over the years to get to the point where I'm at now. And, you know, I didn't start off with this truck and this trailer and all these mowers. I started off with a lot less. And, you know, which makes me more grateful to know how it can be, you know, and that the struggle really is real, and that ain't just a phrase, you know. The ability to be your own boss is a blessing. And if you can do it, then great. Everybody's not built for this though, you know. Everybody's not built to do what I do. And, you know, I don't know, I've always been a self-motivating kind of guy. And when somebody tell me I can't do something, then I want to show them I can. That type of personality that I have. I don't really think about things any other way. So, you know, but family's helped me plentiful. And now I don't owe anybody any money. You know, I paid father-in-law back and everything, all the money that he's ever loaned me, I paid him back. And haven't owed him money for years. But he really instilled in me the self-discipline to make the payment, because the last time I borrowed money from him, which was probably around I don't know, 2014 or 15, somewhere around in there, he demanded that I pay $1,000 a month. He said, he said, if you can't pay $1,000 a month, then I don't want to let you borrow the money because you're staying, because I was perpetually staying in. I pay him off and then I borrow more money. Pay him off, borrow more money. But see, what he didn't know was I was paying him off just so I could borrow more money and buy more equipment and buy, better stuff. And I was hoping and praying that all that would catch up and work for me at the end of the day. That's what I was, hoping and praying for anyway. So, it's surreal when I think back on it, and I think about all the things that went wrong and all the more things that could have went wrong, and how I don't even know how I even actually did it, y'all. Made it to this point. And I'm never ever, one thing about me is I'm never ever completely satisfied with where I'm at. And that ain't just I'm never completely satisfied with what we're doing. I always think that we can do better. And I don't know if that's a mentality that you gotta have to do what I do, but it don't hurt none, because it keeps you striving to do better, to be more efficient, this and that, so, but that's a good video, man. And when you're talking about the things outside the numbers of what we do every day, outside the heat, there's a lot of internal things that we go through being, self-employed, and everybody has their own struggle, to begin with anyway. And, I still have struggles. Y'all see it, Now, when I bought the Bobcat, I was able to make that purchase without borrowing money. So, that's when I really realized that I had reached the plateau of needing to borrow money from my folks. Plus, it wasn't helping my credit. That was a big thing, man. I wasn't paying interest, but it wasn't helping my credit. And that is not, was not healthy. Because I'd go apply for a loan on something, I couldn't get it. And it wasn't because I had bad credit, because I didn't have no credit. The only credit I had on my credit was the damn house. So, there's a lot of sacrifices that you guys might not see that have went into, anybody that does this for a living. A lot of sacrifices. And because, again, nobody was there to give me nothing, I would, and believe me, when I borrow money, when I would borrow money from my father-in-law, it was a lot more than just borrowing money, y'all. It was a lot of, just a lot of politics involved, it seemed like, it was, because I felt indebted, not just for them paying the money back, but in other ways too, where if he called me, he'd want me to come help him do something, I'd have to go help him do something. And not that I didn't want to, but I felt a lot more obligation to do things, and so I would spend time helping him do things that I might not have found the time to do if I hadn't to borrow money from him. I mean, something like that, But at the end of the day, without him, I don't know that I would have made it. Though he says you would have eventually got on your feet. It just would have taken you a little bit longer, And he's probably right. I probably would have had to pay a whole bunch of interest on something too, And I ain't with that interest paying stuff if I ain't got to. But now I pay interest. Like when I bought the Skag, I just signed my name for the Skag, and bam, I had the Skag. And I could do that now too. But that's why I can, because I don't. Does that make sense? Most of the time, the people that can get things on credit by signing their name, they usually don't. Or it's strategically when they do. And that's why they got it like that, because they're disciplined with their money. My father-in-law has taught me to be disciplined with my money if he ain't taught me nothing else. Not by his own actions, but by his mandates on me to pay him back. and it forced me to be disciplined with my bread. You know, if you're not disciplined with your money out here, you're gonna have a hard time, man, because you can't get caught up in how much money you're making. It doesn't matter if somebody pays me with a check, cash, or Venmo. It all goes to the same place, right in the bank, where I can manage it. You know, if I were to take every $40 and $50 yard that I do, $60 yard that I do, and put that money in my pocket and just keep the cash in my pocket to run the business on, then I probably would just run out of money. But there's been a lot of trials and tribulations along the way to get to this point, and I know I got more trials and tribulations coming. You know, y'all see it on the daily. So yeah. All right, y'all. I gotta grab these jumper cables. Peace out. Okay, guys. So yeah, man, we got done, man. And like I was saying, you know, the container's coming in the morning, and I dropped the mower off at a job, so those guys, so Drew don't have to pull 2 mowers, basically. So in the morning when I leave here, I'll take the Ferris with me, and we'll have 3 mowers on the job. So yeah, but we did good today, man. I mean, we got everything done. It's 2 o'clock. We got everything on the list done. Yeah, man. Yeah. I ain't sure how much money the business did. Probably around 8 or so. You know, we did okay. But like I said this morning, I need everybody to show up. And I told Zach the same. I need everybody to show up tomorrow and Friday. Now everybody show up, man. Everybody show up tomorrow and Friday. Then we'll Friday's gonna be a good day. I'm gonna go through the text messages and make sure that I have a good understanding of what the new customer is thinking. Yeah. But you know, I was talking this morning about, you know, being humble and grateful for the people that have helped you get to the point that you're at, you know, and the people that are still helping you if that's the case. I never lose sight of that, you know, never. Just people believing in you around you is a pretty big deal, and you have to embrace that. And it ain't always been easy either, you know, because there's been a lot of stress along the way. You know, when I borrow money from family and things like that, you know, I was so glad once I got to the point of where I could just sign my name for a mower or whatever, you know. Then I didn't have to borrow money no more. And you know, that's just growing and, you know, evolving and taking care of your business as you go. You know, don't no family member want to loan you money, you know, for the duration of your life in business, and they shouldn't really have to. You should be able to get a few loans here and there to help you grow a little bit, and because as you're growing, you're learning on what equipment you need, what kind of jobs you're doing, what pays the most, and what kind of equipment you need to make the most money, you know, based on your clientele or whatever. And after you get a few loans, then you should be able to at some point get your cash flow and of course everybody's financial situation is a little bit different. You should be able to get your cash flow eventually to the point where you don't have to borrow no money. And once I got to that point, then I was able to get out of my father-in-law's pocket, because I didn't like being in his pocket. It was just something about it. I just didn't like it. I wanted to, you know, I didn't feel like I was growing and excelling as long as I was owing, you know. But without these people, there's no way that I could have done anything like I've been doing. You know, the first 5 or 6 years, man, was pretty rough, you know. You know, because I had my mortgage to make too. And I never really missed a beat though, because I just hunkered down and put the work in, man. Of course, when I was in the midst of all that, I didn't look at it like I'm putting the work in and the grind and the struggle's real and all that. I didn't really look at it like that. I was looking at it was just the next logical thing, right? I mean, you know, I needed this much money to pay my bills, and that's what I needed. And I needed to get out there and earn this much money to pay my bills, you know. I wasn't thinking about it in the terms that I look at in the same terms that I look at it when I think back on it. When I think back on it, I'm like, man, dude, you really done come a long way. Or man, dude, you really done excelled at this game, you know. So anyway, I see 2 doors down the neighbor, and she got kicked out, and so it looks like the landlord's over there with a little bitty tiny push mower and struggling. I'm gonna ride them over there and see if they want me to cut it, man, and see, because I've been cutting it, you know, anyway. Charge them about 80, you know, see what they say, because they got a little 21-inch Craftsman on there, dude, and the grass is knee high. Yeah. All right, y'all know what it is, man. It's Sammy Time Wednesday, y'all. See ya.